वसतु जिह्वाग्रे ब्रह्मरूपा सरस्वती ब्रह्मरूपा सरस्वती Welcome, Namaste to all to this very beautiful, intriguing topic on Vedic sciences and mental health. This is something which is not talked about enough, but it needs to be. Because when the mind is at home with oneself, then all is well. If the mind has gone away somewhere, like the goats we see, want to graze in the pastures of subjectivity, where what I think is what is there. This is a dangerous place to be. What I think, therefore it is. In fact, we have to make it do a headstand. It is, therefore I can think. That is how it is. But then, this subjectivity dogs us on so many levels. Because if we were to ask the question, what is wrong? Let me think there is something. After all, it's my mind, it's not your mind. Let me have the freedom and the privacy to think whatever I want, to imagine anything that I want. Why should I ask your permission? And why should some Shastra means teaching, why should the Shastra tell me what to do, get into my head and tell me what to do? These are all some important questions that come. And so therefore, when we look at the Shastra, we see that all she wants to do is to help us. She is like 1,000 loving and functional mothers. We have to add the words loving and functional because it is Kali Yuga. She wants nothing other than the happiness of the ones that are studying her, are committed to exposing themselves to her. She has something of import to say, and it is in our benefit to hear it. That's why it is important. At the outset, we can say, it is important to let her get inside our head. Because what we have going on otherwise is not so much fun. It's always like, oh, what will happen? So hot, so hot, so hot, so hot, so hot, every thought. Yeah. This is called Sajatiya Vrittik Pravaha. If we replace the word so hot with Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, we would become adept meditators. Thinking of the same thing all the time is called Sajatiya Vrittik Pravaha. So hot, so hot, so hot. And then why is this person like that? Why is that person like that? I can understand I have come to the ashram, but why this fellow has come to the ashram? Why this lady has come to the ashram? All these things. So it is better to let the Shruti come in the head. This is what it is. Because the sanity, so we are here talking about a spiritual sanity. That is what is important. A spiritual sanity is nothing other than emotional growth, or what we call emotional maturity. And this spiritual sanity is what is going to help me gain freedom from this very subjectivity of allowing the mind. I mean, here there is no question of allowing, it has taken off like the goats grazing in the pastures of the subjective. And so this spiritual sanity is what I need, not only for liberation from subjectivity, and subjectivity is another name for samsara, we will see that. If not today, in another session. Samsara means what? Some sorrow or the other. That is samsara. What else is it? So, for freedom, liberation from this life of trying to accomplish something or the other all the time. And in fact, the more accomplished I become, the more insecure I find myself to be. What kind of an accomplishment is that? It's the accomplishment of insecurity. That's all it is. And so therefore, this spiritual sanity is an important prerequisite, a precondition to gaining freedom from this life of becoming somebody or the other, something or the other, when? All the time. All the time. And so, that is one reason we need this instruction. We need to allow the Shruti in the head. Because after all, what is she doing? She's replacing the repeated thoughts of it is hot, it is hot, it is hot, it is hot, it was so hot, it was so hot, it was so hot, it was so hot. Okay, now it is not hot. Look, now it is pleasant. What do you have to say now? It was so hot, it was so hot, it was so hot, it was so hot. Oh my God, it was so hot. Spiritual sanity is needed as a precondition for liberation, also called as moksha. Today I heard that a small Russian village is also called moksha. Yes, we heard it during the brunch time. So, not only for freedom, this is the ultimate liberation, gaining which there is nothing more to gain, understanding which there is nothing more to understand, nothing more to want, nothing more to lose, nothing more to desire, really. For sure, without this spiritual sanity, this liberation, moksha, cannot be gained. But there are many people who say, moksha, shmoksha. You know, I just want to live my everyday life. I have ambitions, I have desires, I have goals, I want success in this, that, or the other. And there is nothing wrong with having desires. Even the Bhagavad Gita says, Kamosmi Bharatarshambha. Lord Krishna says, I am in the form of desire. Of course, we have to read the fine print afterwards. Dharma aviruddha kamosmi bhuteshu. And the desire that does not transgress that which is righteous. Righteous living, dharma. And So, for the people who say, I am not interested in moksha, give me something else, then also I will say, even if you're not interested in moksha, you need spiritual sanity to be able to negotiate the everyday. And therefore, there is no avoiding the Shruti. She calls to you. That is why you are here. She calls. She says, it's time. Heed this thought. Come to me. Allow yourself to be transformed. She says all these things. She speaks. She speaks in a way that cannot be negated. She speaks in a way that is timeless. She speaks in a way that cannot be altered. She speaks that which is the invariable truth about each and every one of us, that we are not at all what we think. She speaks to everybody alike. Even if one thinks, I am a very good person, I am sattvic, I am dharmic, I am godly. Some people may think that. While some other people will think I am a papi. I don't know how to translate papi. Yeah. Full of papa. Papa means what? Is, it's a sin to translate papa as, as sin. Okay. So, more like the one who is facing uncomfortable situations due to having transgressed dharma in this or other lives. That would be called papa, those uncomfortable situations. So supposing somebody says, I'm full of papa. And in fact, you know what? I'm tired of being good. I want to be bad. Shastra calls them asura. Asura means Rakshasa. Rakshasa means Asura. That didn't help. Yeah. Asura means Asushuramante iti. Asura, the ones that only indulge in sensory pleasures. Not that sensory pleasures are bad, but what did I say? The ones who only indulge in that, to the detriment of any other pursuit, any other desire, any other want. And so such people are called asuras. And the people who are chasing the light, what is the light? That which burns as oneself. That which one misses because one sees it as an object when it is not. It is you. It cannot be objectified. Therefore, it appears to be invisible, yet very present. That which makes you say, I am, aham asmi. That which makes you say, I know, sada bhami. That which makes you say, I am always in search of love. Kadachin aham apriya. That is who is called a Deva. Dyotanatmakatvat, the one who is aware of oneself as the self-evident I. The Shruti gets to both the Devas and the Asuras. One day, long, long ago, Prajapati, the teacher of the Devas, was going on a speaking tour. And in those days, it was all open air. Global warming was not yet there. And then he made a radical statement. Atma apahata papma vijaraha vimrityuhu vishokaha. Like this, he kept on talking. And the devas who had come to listen to him were just so enamored. Atma is not subject to papa. Nothing touches the eye. The eye of the Shruti is very, very different from the I that I think I am. The Shruti takes it upon herself to write our autobiography, because left to ourselves we will write a miserable autobiography. Autobiography of a bhogi. This is not yogi. This is what we will write. First chapter, oh no, oh no, oh no. Second chapter, OMG, OMG, OMG. Third chapter, why me? Fourth chapter, it's not my fault, it's somebody else's fault. It's never my fault. Fifth chapter, to be continued. In the next Janma, we'll pick up the same autobiography. Therefore, the Shruti is kind enough to write a different autobiography. Atma, I, apahata patma, is that which is beyond all regret. There is no such thing called sin. There is no papa for the Atma, for the I. Vijaraha, free of old age. Vimrityuhu, free of death. Nityaha, Shuddha, all these things. It is eternal, ever present, unchanging, pure. Devas sat and listened very well. Where? Under the tree. And then, or in the hall, wherever the lecture was taking place. The Asuras won't come anywhere near such a talk. Why? There is no spiritual sanity, which is the topic of today's talk. They will be far away from this kind of a talk. Because what delights the Asuras are useless things, gossip, fearful talk, talking about other people, disrespecting things. And another topic we all agree upon and love is world domination. This is what we love. This is what is the mental makeup of the Asuras. But the power of the Shruti was such that even though they were outside, somewhere far away, fighting with one another, strangling one another, what? They also stopped. One was beating one another, the other one was going mummy, mummy. And they all stopped. It's almost like when the movie freezes on the screen. In whichever pose they were, one was like this, one was like that. All violent poses, because that's all they know, poor things. They all stopped. And they said, oh, Vijaya, I'll never get old. Fantastic. And then what? Vimrityuhu, I'll never die. That's what I want. We need to find out what this Atma is. We need to go to this fellow, Prajapati, and learn this teaching. Meanwhile, the Devas also came to the same conclusion and appointed their head. Who is the head of the Devas? Indra. They appointed Indra and said, please go learn this and then come back and teach us all. Even the Asuras had a head. Okay? In fact, they have many heads, but like Ravana. But this was the head of all the Asuras. His name was Virochana. See, if you know Sanskrit, you can have fun with it even. Virochana His mother, when she kept the name, she thought, oh, this is such a brilliant boy. Rochana means brilliance. V, when you add the prefix V means special brilliance. But we have to be careful about this V, okay? Because the V also can mean from which something has departed. Like viragah, vigatah, ragah, yasmat, from which all raga has departed. So here also, vigatam, rojanam, yasmat, from which all brilliance has departed. we can have that derivation because that's what befits him. And he self-appointed himself. And he said, I'm also going to learn this teaching. I have to learn this teaching. I'm going to study this. I'm going to come back and teach all of you. Before that, I would have conquered the world. I will have world domination in my pocket. No problem. Here I go. This is how the 8th chapter of the Chandogya Upanishad starts. Both of them trot off. Very interestingly, the Shruti presents Virochana as one without a voice. Throughout, he has no speaking part at all. Silent. For an asura, it is uncharacteristic to be silent. But that is the beauty and the cleverness of the revealed scriptures, Shruti. Even the Bhagavad Gita does not give voice to Duryodhana. When Duryodhana has to speak in the first chapter, it doesn't see. We have so many uvacha. Uvacha means spoke. Dhritarashtra uvacha. And then Arjuna uvacha. Sanjaya uvacha. Duryodhana uvacha. No, never. You don't give the mic to asuras. You don't give them airtime. As a matter of rule, no airtime. He speaks in indirect voice. That is one of the reasons here. The Shruti, in the form of the Chandogya Upanishad, which is called Shruti here, does not give voice to this asura as well. We don't want to hear them speak. Because what will they say? We don't want to hear. Because if it comes as the Shruti, then that means it will become something that is written in stone. It will become something that we need to reverentially follow. We don't need to follow anything that the asura says. Why? Because he or she will be speaking out of total subjectivity, spiritual insanity. We don't need spiritual instruction from an insane person. So that is why the Shruti will not let him talk. There is also another reason. Why? Because it looks to be that this Indra and Virochana, this Virochana seems to look up to Indra and lets him do all the talking. They both go to the ashram of Prajapati and stay there for 32 years before they even ask the teacher what they have come for. Imagine staying at an ashram, not 1 day, 2 days, but not even 32 days. How many? 32 years. And usually, who has to approach who? Should the teacher approach the student? Or should the student approach the teacher? Student has to approach the teacher. The student has questions. The student says, I feel bound. I want to be released. But here, Prajapati could not stand it any longer. Prajapati asked, Gentlemen, what are you doing here? You've been here for 32 years. I've seen you in the dining hall. You haven't skipped a single meal in all these years. Morning, noon, and night you're there. And then you seem to be doing something, we don't know what, all day long. And then, as though obliging Prajapati, Indra says, long time ago, 32 years back, we heard you say, Atma, Apahatapma, Vijaraha, Vimrityuhu, Vishokaha, Vijighatsaha. And then, beyond Kshut Pipasa, beyond hunger and thirst, that which is cannot be killed, that which cannot be die, which cannot die, which is immortal. All these things we heard you say long, long ago. And oh teacher, I want to learn the Atma, Indra says, and does one namaskar. What does Virochana do? Just follows him. That's all. He doesn't say anything. Prajapati takes one look at Virochana, does not feel like teaching at all. Yeah. He has an inauspicious face. Not that anybody's face is inauspicious. Everybody's face is how God made. But inauspicious face means that up to no good. The intention, there should be a certain alignment of intention, which is thought, word, which is speech, and deed, which are actions. When that alignment is not there, such a face does not inspire trust. Prajapati could not trust the man who wanted world domination with this knowledge. And what is this knowledge? You are whole, you are limitless, you are one with the maker of this universe, you are Ishvara, one with Ishvara. And you are not subject to guilt and hurt. If one is not ready for this knowledge, it will become the defense of every serial killer. Not guilty, Your Honor. Why not? By what defense? I am not the doer, Your Honor. Due to non-doership, I am not guilty. That's why this mental health is important. That's why a certain kind of an alignment is important. That's what this whole weekend is all about. How to get at this alignment from various angles. From the places we occupy to the various things we practice, the sadhana, to the nakshatras, the stars, the horoscope, all these things. Many ways of coming at it. So now Prajapati takes one look at him and says, I don't feel like teaching at all. The very face was a total put off. But he thought, if somebody can learn something, if they have the preparation, if they have this understanding, maybe they'll get something. Gentlemen, you want to see the Atma? Yes, 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 yes. He just claps his hand. People bring this huge vat of water. See yourself to your heart's content. See the Atma. And they both go. And Virochana twirls his mustache. Oh, not bad. You can get handsome fellow there. Yes, look at him. Indra just tests out his biceps. Yes. The ashram air has done me good. All sattvic food and everything, all these years. I think I should get some coconut oil and rub it so that all the biceps and triceps show up nicely. Both of them look at this angle, that side. Do I like this side? Do I have a nice profile? Do I have which one flatters me more? They both looked. And then they thanked Lord Prajapati profusely, trotted off, departed the ashram. Seeing them go, Prajapati says, look at these two fools, murkhas, thinking that they know the Atma, here they go, not knowing anything at all, not even thinking about why this, how come my face is Atma? They should have thought, but they had no introspection, zero introspection. Also says if anybody, any one of them, out of these two, if any of them teaches this stuff to others, may that lineage not matter, not come to anything. Because it will be the wrong lineage. This is what he says. And his prophecy comes true. Because what does Virochana do? Virochana goes off to his people and opens a Gurukula. Asura Vidya Gurukula. What is taught there? How to just keep on indulging in the body. Keep on putting lotions and potions for every notion about the body. Keep on doing this or that. This is called Prakriti Seva. Prakriti Seva means that which is constantly changing, that which is always subject to destruction. I am keeping on tampering that. You have to take care of it, yes. I'm not saying let the body, go. No. You have to manage it, take care of it. If it is sick, it has to be brought back to health. It has to be nourished, and only you can do that. Because nobody else knows what is going on in this body. You are the witness. But overindulgence can never be a teaching. That's why that Asura Vidya Gurukula does not have any descendants. We don't have any teachings left over from that. Indra also goes off. But you see, because he has a sattvic mind, this is all about the mental health. He has a sattvic mind. Virochana has a overly developed, primarily rajasic, tamasic mind, tamasic, rajasic mind. Therefore, he is not able to ask the right questions. Indra goes to drink some water from a creek. And then when he tries to drink the water, he sees the reflection disturbed. First he says, oh, here you go, hello, Atma, wonderful. I have missed you, look at that. And then when he scoops the water, what happens? The reflection is all rippled, disturbed. He says, wait a minute. It is Nitya. Nitya means it's unchanging. In here it is changing. I have been duped. I better go back to the teacher. I have a question. He goes back. Prajapati claps internally. Seeing him come, what? Alone. And he says, oh, how come it can be like this? He says, yes, the answer. I will teach you. When is the next satsang? Oh, Prajapati. After 32 years. What? What should I do till then? Go to the cow stables. Yes, cow dung patties. Make. Take care of the cows, rub them down. Take them to the water. That's why it's called cow stable. It's not that the cow becomes stable. You become stable. You become stable after taking care of the cows. The mind calms down. After 32 years also, it's like the teaching is shorter than the opening prayer and the closing prayer combined. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahi Tejasvina Vaditapastuma Vidvishavahi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And Indra is anticipating this. He takes a bath, wears his whites, with stripes of vibhuti everywhere, looks like a zebra, and then shows up to class with great devotion. Opening prayer, he enjoys, he chants. Then he is looking, where is what will come out of Prajapati's mouth? The what? Om Purnamada Purnamada, etc. It's a closing prayer. He's already said. He said, what? I didn't understand. He said, next class, yes. When? After 32 years. In this way, he is kept there in Prajapati's ashram for 106 years totally. But of course, this is all God time. God time and our time are different. We hear this in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. By the time the Creator, the Bhagavan in the form of Lord Brahmaji, wakes up, stretches, has his coffee, and then goes for a walk, at least 1,000 yogas have come and gone here on earth. You see, we see this already. We see that dogs and cats and other animals age faster than we do. So same thing. If we can have like we can extrapolate. The celestial time moves much more slowly than mortal time. So mortal time, so one day of Lord Brahmaji is equal to 1,000 yogas in the mortal time. And when Brahmaji goes to sleep, we have what is called dissolution, pralaya. This is what it is. And so that's why even though he stayed for 100 and odd years, there was not much of a change because it is all in celestial. Then we see that these 106 years are made, he has to undergo this, not because Indra is stupid and did not get it, but because Indra is famous and the Shruti wants to show us that even a famous Devata like Indra, who is the king of heaven, the king of Indra Loka Swarga, he too has had the value for this knowledge that he stayed for 106 years. What to talk of us mortals, mere mortals. That is one reason. Then the second thing we notice is that the teaching starts to happen only after the departure of Virochana. When Virochana goes, the teaching comes. As long as Virochana is there, no teaching can happen. And even if the teaching is given, it is not understood at all. So we can take it like how we just have understood this as Sattva Pradhana, the mind that is primarily sattvic, has the ability to grasp this most precious, most sacred knowledge, and the mind that is playing in the realms of rajas and tamas all the time cannot benefit from this knowledge. We can take it like that. Or I should say, and we can also look at it slightly differently, a little deeper. Since Virochana does not talk at all, we can see that Virochana perhaps is not a separate person, but a kind of a aspect of Indra himself. An undeveloped, unacknowledged, and not very awareful, not a subconscious aspect, or better yet, an unconscious aspect of Indra himself. Now it's very interesting. There are not two different people who are there. One person who is split. That split has to heal. And what is the split? In many levels we can see the split. Dharma, adharma, conflict inside. I know what is the right thing to do. Okay, then why don't you do it? I don't feel like it. Maybe most people's problems. Or maybe you don't know what is the wrong thing. No, I know what is the wrong thing. I know what not to do. But I am not able to desist from not doing it. This is our problem. This is the problem of the jiva, the jaded, faded jiva. This is what the problem is. And so therefore, there is a split. One wants to do the right thing. Follow dharma means follow the way that is where one is one with the universe and its laws. The universe and its laws are not a mandate of God, but a manifestation of God. And so following dharma means being very close to Bhagavan. One wants that, but one is afraid of that, and so one wants to transgress dharma. So the internal split between could be that can be that. The internal split also, more often than not, is also between the adult, the one who wants the teaching, and the inner child. What does the child want? A rattle. Yeah. That's why it's rattled all the time. The child wants to be hugged. The child wants to sit on the lap. The child wants to be noticed. The child wants to be acknowledged. The child wants to be validated. In other words, the child wants to be a child. Nothing wrong. But the teaching is not for the child. If you bring a 3-year-old here and say, Tatvamasi, well, and then you try to explain what the 6th chapter of the Chandogya says, or you explain the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. If you start thinking, doing that, it's going to start losing interest. It will sit because you are sitting, and then it will squirm, it will start crying, it will start getting distracted. So too, a truncated part of the eye is very much still a child. 92 on the outside, 2 on the inside. This is the situation for almost everybody, unless one has had exposure to sadhana, Vedanta, and ways of dealing with this inner child. That could be the split. The split could be between the knower and the doer. The knower knows this is not what I'm supposed to do, but the doer goes and does something else completely. The knower knows I'm telling a lie, I'm engaging in untruth, but the doer goes and tells the lie anyway. So all of these are the inner Virochanas within ourselves. And until the inner Virochanas are calmed down, until they are pacified, until they are interrogated, processed, and healed, we can kiss the knowledge of Tatvamasi goodbye. Because it is of no use. One is not grown up enough to have it. And what did Virochana do with this knowledge? Nothing. Could not do anything. Got the wrong information and went away and tried to propagate the wrong information. So it is incumbent upon us to be able to do this inner healing, to not get rid of the Virochana, to give Virochana a tight hug. And Virochana being mithya, we'll see what that is, an apparent reality. The needs of the inner child apparent reality, the presence of the inner child, an apparent reality. So this resolution is not throwing away the inner child, but integrating it into the adult. How should we do that? We'll see tomorrow. There is a session tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnah Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Thank you.